special of DevKami. Actually, we don't have Saturday special, it's just something I just made up. So today we had guests. Today me and Tristan is here, and we had a guest from Cytron, Eng Tong. He's actually the engineer behind, one of the engineers behind the Maker Uno team. So today we're talking about what is Cytron, what is the Maker Uno, what else? And also the Maker, something about the Maker culture down here. So let's start. So Eng Tong, let's introduce yourself.
Hello everyone. I'm Eng Tong. I'm one of the co-founder of Cytron. We started Cytron in 2006 when we were in the uni.
Oh, cool.
So Cytron currently is the biggest digital maker marketplace in Malaysia, providing or offering different kind of solution, different kind of product, sensors, boards, microcontrollers, module, to help the maker community or the students in digital making. So not only selling product, our mission is actually simplifying the whole learning process of digital making.
So I heard that you guys actually started from Robocon or something.
Yep.
Okay, can you tell me briefly about that?
We met each other in Robocon. It's one of the major robotic competition for university.
Okay, cool.
So after the competition, we found that we can do something because at that time, there's no Arduino, there's no maker community, there's no maker culture. So we found that we can do something to offer to our peers, to our friend in the uni, in learning electronics as well as coding. So we started by creating our first microcontroller boards to teach our peers microcontroller. This is how we started.
Those days, okay, so let's move a little early on. When you started, what kind of development board do you use?
The first development board was microchip, PIC 16F877A, the most famous 8-bit microcontroller at that time. So we started this, then slowly, because we still we came from Robocon, so at that time also we focused on providing the solution for Robocon team. Means that we came out with all the controller, the robot controller, the robot sensors, the motor driver, mostly are meant for Robocon. Until like after 4 or 5 years, then we found that when the company growing, and we found that we cannot rely on Robocon business anymore. So we started to think that we need to expand our product line to another segment, which is the school or the maker, the group of people that like to make things and learning microcontroller. Then we started expanding our solution.
So how does that change from your business? So what you have to change from?
Means that the product line, like very deep in these things is last time we provide we focus in developing motor driver. So after that we develop Rero. It's a robotic kit for kit to assembly or assemble robot, different kind of robot. Then we came out with Maker Uno, and we also bring in Raspberry Pi, make the price very competitive, and make all the learning process very easy, and started to came out with the add-on board to simplify the whole learning process. So and we slowly, not no longer focus only Robocon business.
Okay.
This is how we think and how we pivot.
Cool. So just so you know, there's two things actually here. So you know, there's this thing here I actually bought from Cytron. I need to put it on my pet robot one day. Then
Okay.
of course I got this. So this is the e-ink that I got from the sale. I
Oh,
didn't program it yet, but it's the Raspberry Pi with header because I'm lazy as hell. So this is supposed to be my ad blocker. So this is supposed to be my ad blocker. I installed Pi-hole on it. So what happened is I actually all these things, but I had to program the software, but I still get it from Cytron on the website, which is actually pretty cool. So I'm kind of happy when you guys actually start selling Arduinos and all that, because previously we actually had to wait, get from China or in the US, and those companies actually take days to come.
I have a question. What? So how do you choose which products to sell in Cytron?
wow, a good question. We have a product specialist team led by Ober. He is the one that do all the research and listen to the customer. He sit in front in the customer service, answering the question of the customer, knowing what they want, and this is how we decide which product to bring in.
I see. Do you know like the criteria? Like, is it so? There's the customer demand. There's also is there pricing involved as well? Like, is this it is a business, so there must be some profit involved. Is it easy to make? Like, are there weights like this?
Yeah, you already answered the question.
Okay.
The criteria basically is about price, about the easiness in using, and the quality.
I see. Cool. Yeah. Thanks. Yeah, because I when you had the sale, well, first I got introduced to the Cytron products when Women Who Code had the event, and
The IoT course.
the IoT. No, it's not really a course, but like more like a workshop.
When was
That was, I think, early October. I forgot, but that was a few weeks before the sale.
okay?
So what happened was the instructor was said, okay, in order for you to join the workshop, you have to buy this kit, this Arduino kit from Cytron because this is what we're going to be doing. So okay, fine. It's quite cheap because I bought an Arduino before. The whole kit was the same price as the Arduino from 4 years ago, and I thought, okay, this is fine. I'll pay for it, and then at that point, there was also a free Maker Uno board, which I thought was genius because now I didn't have to do all of these LEDs just to confirm that the program is working, right? And you had a buzzer, and it was great. And the sale came in, then I bought a few more, and I thought actually everything, yeah, it's a black hole of of spending if you're really into this thing. And so I thought like the selection, your product selection at Cytron was very, very much in tune with what I wish I would do or what I would have if I had the time to actually um, spend on making
Oh,
things. Like
really? Thanks.
you had the like the inky thing that Sui Meng was showing. Like you had the Pi and the Pi Zero and the Pi W and like everything that I would have wanted if I was going to make a project. And so I thought that product selection was very good.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
So what kind of customer do you guys have from the community nowadays?
Most of our customer majority we are actually focusing in educator and students.
So is it growing large? Is it getting bigger nowadays?
You know that now Form 2 also start learning in their Form 2 syllabus one of the subject called RBT, Rekabentuk Technology.
Okay.
One of the chapter they have to learn microcontroller.
Wow. From
So
today's 14.
when you talk about basic microcontroller, obviously Arduino is our first option.
Okay.
So they have, in other words, they have to start learning Arduino.
Okay.
In Form 2. So you can imagine how large is the popularity now.
So do they actually have to start from scratch? Like we have to do early days, or they can just take a dev board and start working on?
No, definitely not from scratch.
Okay.
The objective was to introduce coding and a little bit on the electronics.
Okay. Interesting. So that's why you actually designed your Maker Uno, isn't it?
Yeah. This is one of the. So in fact, when the school or the MOE introduced RBT course in Form 2, so one of the social enterprise called Arus Academy, they came to find us and they said that there is something we have to do together to even to make Arduino boards even easier for the school or for the teacher to teach in the class. They face problem in teaching based on their experience, 2-3 year experience in teaching Arduino to the students. Because if you know, you need to teach electronic as well as coding at the same time to the students. But when you start to conduct the first class, you ask the students to build a simple circuit, let's say LED, and program to make the LED blink. But when it doesn't work, the student doesn't know whether it's a circuit problem, the connection problem, or the program problem. So the teacher has to spend time to troubleshoot for the students. And imagine if you have 20 students in the class, so you don't need to teach anymore. You just troubleshoot, then 2 hours pass, then you cannot do anything.
So that's like 1 day of class already.
So they have this question. They have this problem. So from there we discuss and among the team to come up with the idea of actually we can put LED at each I/O pin at Arduino, so that it's make it very easy to troubleshoot. This is how the idea of Arduino came.
Okay, so I've used Arduino for a long time. Nobody actually think of this kind of problem before. Every time we burn like LED or whatever, those are like rites of passage. I think it's actually very smart that you put on board components of the development board so that the student can focus, and you keep the I/O pin so that the student can expand from that experience. This to me is actually very smart. So yeah, I think that's a great idea, and more importantly, you manage to keep the price very low.
Yeah.
The price.
I want to ask about that. The Cytron Uno is more expensive than the Maker Uno, and of course the original Arduino, if you order from the original makers, it's even more expensive plus shipping. So do you know why Maker Uno is much more?
Do you notice that in the normal or the original Arduino as well as Cytron Uno, there is a 5-volt adapter for you to connect with the adapter, AC adapter, from 12 volt to 5 volt.
Correct. Yeah.
We actually take out this part from Maker Uno.
Also, like that's half the price of the Cytron Uno. Really?
Yes.
Wow.
We changed the USB to serial chip from FTDI chip to the China USB to serial converter CH341. So this actually bring down the cost a lot.
I see.
Another important thing is actually, to be very frank, we squeeze the profit for us and the distributor.
I see.
We, this is business. So we have to reserve a certain percent of profit margin for our partner. But for this project, we kind of persuade our partners not to take so much profit. So both parties actually squeeze our profit margin to make this thing happen. This is something like Raspberry Pi Zero. For us and for Raspberry Pi, we are not making money. But
interesting.
The purpose is just we want to introduce and get people on board.
Interesting.
I see.
How we managed to bring down the cost.
Especially, I think it's easier to persuade them, especially since the Maker Uno is targeted for education market, and yeah, it's like it's corporate social responsibility.
Actually, our secondary objective was we hope to convert customers.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
As long as we can bring in more new customer, convert them into to learn Arduino, then actually we are looking for the long-term value.
That's great. That's brilliant because when students are introduced to electronics early, they will be your future customers 10 years from now.
Right.
So this is
It's a
great. So
win-win solution. I
yeah.
see that.
So how many of your, so do you have more and more teacher and parents actually looking at your product for their kids and students? Do you have more, is there growth from this area?
Yeah. I mean, not only in Malaysia market, because for your information, we actually launched Maker Uno in Kickstarter back in March this year, and we actually we didn't expect the response was so good. We got about 1,600 backer in 60 over country. We managed to raise 60,000 something dollar, 60 plus thousand dollar by selling the Maker Uno board $4 per board, $4 to $5 per board. We managed to sell to sell $60,000. So can you imagine? The response was so good, and not only during the Kickstarter campaign, even after the campaign, when they receive the box, actually we receive a lot of repeat customer. One of the customer that I would like to highlight is one of the robotic organization from New Zealand. They asked us to custom made the Maker Uno, putting their logo on the board, on the bottom of the board, because they want to give it as a prize for the robotic competition winner.
Nice.
So I was so happy and feel very excited when we receive the very good response from overseas customer, especially from the developed country.
Wow. And that's actually very cool.
Yeah.
So
didn't expect that. Initially, we were taught that we want to do for RBT, we want to do for ARUS, for the Malaysian school.
Yeah.
But now things change. The global demand from Maker Uno was so strong until we have to, for information, we are going to introduce Maker Uno Plus. Because in certain countries, they don't like to use the CH341 chip. They still prefer the FTDI, the original.
So that's the USB controller. That's the USB.
To serial. Yeah.
The one that translates they don't mind paying extra.
Okay.
These customers are from Japan, from Germany, and the North America market. They don't mind paying more. So they asked us to, to come up with Maker Uno with FTDI chip. So we will be launching in a couple of weeks.
So I have a question on that, like, because this is so much a success and it's been like it's in Kickstarter, and I've seen many companies, they actually look at Kickstarter projects, the ones that are very successful, they immediately copy it because there's already a proven business strategy here. And I'm still not seeing a lot of copies of Maker Uno. So is there like something special about what you're doing that you're not being copied?
I think that or because you know Maker Uno, then maybe they are on the way. Maybe. And actually this is anyway, Arduino is Maker open source hardware.
Yeah.
you cannot say copy lah. I mean,
yeah,
right? If you say copy, then we also copy Arduino. It's not copy lah. It's innovate. So I don't mind others company or player, they innovate from Maker Uno. Fine, it's fine if as long as you can make this board even easier.
Oh, okay. Well, that's actually a very positive way to thinking.
That's actually just what I was wondering about. Like, it seems that what Cytron did is it's like everyone just wants what your innovation was, because I haven't seen anyone with the same touches that you've put on Arduino, like the LEDs, the buzzer, removing certain parts to make it cheaper, putting I guess the label at the back was like, I've seen something there as well. Putting like the box design, for example, with the hole at the side. So these things, these small touches that make it really easy for a student to, okay, I'm going to leave it here. I still know which one my board is. It's going to be easy for class. I haven't seen the same combination with other Arduino like products. So it's very unique, and I'm just wondering why people still haven't seen the light. Like, why can't we find any other combinations of these features? Yeah, just wondering about it.
Yeah.
Maybe you will see that soon in others' product. Maybe they are still developing. Who knows? I'm not sure.
Okay, cool. Do you have a growth of a customer from outside education, for example, people like us, hackers, makers, and all that?
I'm not sure. I think yes, but I do. It's not significant, I guess.
Okay, it's not big yet. Yeah, I get that as well. I got that kind of feeling.
The real hacker or maker community in Malaysia still very limited.
Right. Yeah. I can. Yeah, I kind of got that feeling, but just checking. You might know something that I don't know. So, and can you give us a little background of the Vero product line? I think that's an interesting product because I follow you guys from. It's one of your earliest crowdfunding project.
When the idea of Vero actually started very, very long time ago. It was in 2010.
Yeah.
8 years from now. At that time, Arduino was not popular. And there's no any movement or any effort in teaching electronics or robotics. I mean, microcontroller to the school level.
Yeah.
So, but at that time, we started to feel that there is a need for us to introduce this kind of technology to the school level. But we found that if you introduce the embedded system and with all the wiring to the school, the students may not want to learn. So they feel that robot could be a cool approach for the students. That's why we put a lot of effort in making the hardware, the appearance, to make it very cute, very easy, very catchy, and so that they love the thing before they want to learn. That's why we created Vero. Problem with Vero in Malaysia market was the price was still very, very high for the school to afford.
Right. So
imagine a $20 board compared to $1,000 something robot that 10 students have to share one compared to each students have one board.
Yeah.
So and the environment, the whole situation environment also changed because nowadays the student I'm not sure whether they enjoy or not, but they have to learn. It's part of their curriculum now.
Right.
Last time 8 years ago.
Right.
We force them to learn compared to now they have to learn.
Okay.
Things change. So that's why we have to change also.
All right.
And actually Vero, although we stopped we stopped production for Vero, but we still have a large inventory on that for rental purpose. We changed the plan from selling to rental plan.
Right.
They cannot afford buying one shot, 1,000 something.
Yeah.
Imagine they want to buy 20 sets. That is how much. So, and they only use it. 1 year they have 2 semester. So one batch of students use it for like 1 month plus 2 months.
Yeah.
Then another batch of students coming end of the year. So 1 year they only use like 4 months. So the rest of the 6 months they are not using. So we think of how to reduce the cost for them. So we think of introduce the rental plan will be fine for the school. That's why we changed to rental plan.
So just so the audience know, Cytron is actually the Malaysian official distributor of the Raspberry Pi. So how's the uptake of the Raspberry Pi down here? Can you tell me about that?
Wow. When we introduce Arduino, it's not in Arduino era.
Yeah.
We only can capture the hardware guide.
Yeah.
So the customer base was so limited to electronics and hardware.
Yeah.
So when Raspberry Pi came in, actually we managed to tackle non-customer.
Wow.
Those people that like computer. The computer science students, they start to introduce, they start to use Raspberry Pi as a platform to integrate their web development or their computer processing with hardware. So they start to learn hardware. So when come to this, we managed to get a big portion of non-customer become our customer. That is why we see the demand or the customer base growing.
Well, I have regarding that. I have a question for you. What would be the first project that you feel you were proud of, like even before, like when you were in uni, or even before that, like the first, like for example, in my high school, we did a small radio circuit, none of the EEPROM stuff. It's all resistors and all about like it's everything is soldered. We had to burn our own PCB, for example, and I was quite proud of it. I can't find it anymore, but that was the project I felt that I actually made an electronic circuit. What was that for you?
I fall in love with robot because in the year 2 in uni, that was my first time seeing a auto car or small car that able to follow the black line. I was so amazed, and I don't know why. And it was so amazed for me why the robot can follow the black line. And that is the reason I started all this hardware and started making my own first line following robots. So yeah, I would say probably that was the things that I feel proud until now.
All right. If you were to do that project again now with the current technology, how would you approach it?
Oh, last time we solder the circuit from scratch, and we have to troubleshoot it, and we have to use LM324 comparator. We have the circuit itself. If you want to solder it, it takes like a day to finish solder the circuit. But now you can just buy a line following sensor module, plug in, and just done everything. Sometimes I'm asking myself whether we are simplify the learning or we are actually spoil the whole thing. We cannot force the market to learn the way we learn at our time. So we have to still continue what the customer want or what the market want. We have to change, no choice.
Do you think going back to basics, like what you were talking about, like doing logic circuits on hardware without the use of a programmable board. Is that still important, and will Cytron eventually do that?
Then after that, one of my friend remind me that you are now using microcontroller or IC. Why not you do all the gate logic by yourself? It's not possible. We are now going to another high level. So we want our kids to do high level processing, high level thinking, high level solution, all the basic things. The old people already doing it and make things very matured for you, so that you can start developing new application from the application or from the foundation that we have built. So this is what I believe. So we just move on.
I see.
Okay, so the idea is that we should focus on new problem instead of looking at the old one again and again.
Again, there is still group of people that want to dig down, then go ahead, and because we still need this kind of architect engineer or design engineer that needs to know all this.
Yeah.
So, but the majority of the people still have to go to the high level thinking and high level problem solving. You cannot use assembly code anymore, right?
Yeah.
It's not possible.
Yeah, you can, but you should not. You really should not. So, Tristan,
you should focus on the demo.
Yeah, we can.
Let's show the coolest thing you have done with all your product.
Anyway, it's not that many. It's done by one of our engineers that he's very good in music. Yeah. I don't know much about music, so I can't do this. So
but show us.
Can you see this?
Yep. Looking good. So
those are Maker Unos.
Yep.
3 boards.
Wow.
Yeah, nice. So those are 3 Maker Unos connected to each other, and because the Maker Uno has its own buzzer, each of these Maker Unos can produce its own frequency, right? Its own sound.
Yeah, right. Because actually, the idea is very simple. I am actually powering the first board, and we connect the 5-volt and ground from to serial from one board to another board. So when you power the first board, the following boards also power at the same time. That's why that's simple. Yeah. So instead of one board that can only play monotone, then 3 boards can actually play in harmony.
Yeah, I wanted to go back to what we were saying about like going back to basics, and we have to go for a higher level. And I always remember this quote by Einstein that we cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them. And I thought this was very apt that we have already created that foundation, and we need to start thinking about like the higher level, like beyond that, so that we don't keep on going back to the old problems, like you were saying.
And that's it. Thanks for the interview. I hope our question don't bore you, because we are mostly software engineers.
Oh no, it's this is a very interesting session. Finally I can like meet you
Yeah.
Although we are in a Facebook friend for quite some time.
Yes.
Yeah.